Welcome back to Day 70, Part 2. We're going to be giving you our analysis of the two townhouse projects in Dallas.
So the project is called the Trinity Townhomes, and it's a new development just west of downtown Dallas, and it's right along the riverbank of the Trinity River. And let's have a look at the website.
That's right. Here's the main page of the website. We can see that's the view, actually.
Yeah, it's really close. The website says it's 2 minutes from downtown. Interesting, the walk score was low. It scored 43 out of 100, but I think we have to score it high on location.
That's right.
Because it's so close to downtown. I mean, this area is not developed yet. It's underway, but it's really close.
Yeah, so we've got downtown over here. Here's the project, and it's apparently part of a redevelopment. It's an existing neighborhood, an old neighborhood, and it's being redeveloped. It's on the Trinity River like that, and so I think we need to be thinking ahead a little bit.
Yeah, we do. I think we have to score the points for location. And then let's go through a little bit further.
And then in terms of,
the actual siting, I mean, it's interesting because when you look at the site plan, it gives you some information, but the Google Street View is very, very, very critical in this case because there's quite a busy road adjacent to the project, and then it's actually got sort of a gully that goes around it. And there's not very much, you can see there's a bit of a dip in the landscape, and there's nothing kind of developed around it. So I don't think they're going to develop anything close up against the project, which is really good to know because a lot of the units, or all of the units, have yards that face into that zone around the outer perimeter.
And then in terms of environmental performance,
it's scored I think it's really good. They have a lot of information on the website about environmental performance. They've made a huge effort, so I think it's going to score really high on that.
That's right. And then in terms of siting?
Well, siting, I think they've done a pretty good job. What's really interesting when we look at these two units, I think the decision of which house should I buy might come down to where you actually pick within the unit plan, because the units repeat and some are clearly in better spots than others, so really critical.
So we're going to come back
to come back to this in a little bit.
All right, but even the west-facing units, though, have overhangs.
They
and
do.
There seems to be.
They do.
So they've accounted for orientation.
They have, and they've also tried to get all the units to have a view of downtown. They make that very clear on the website, and I think that they've done a pretty good job of orienting the project towards that.
So this is Unit E1, and
it's 2,285 square feet.
Right.
And it's got 2 bedrooms.
And we gave it a score somewhere between 16 to 18.
Depending, I think, on which unit, where you pick it within the development. I think that's the make or break. Overall, I thought it was pretty good. I think there's 2 issues here. I think one is the entry. I think we've got a hallway condition on the main floor. Yeah. The closet is actually at the back door. Interesting, because the back door is really not a back door. It's access to the outdoor courtyard.
Right.
And so I don't know if you'd be coming in and out of there that much, because you'd be...
Exactly. This is a private courtyard.
It is a private courtyard.
Off of the guest
and
bedroom.
you can't get anywhere from there. So I don't know why the closet's there. So I didn't score that very well.
Convenient underneath the stair. That's why it's there.
Yeah, exactly. The other thing that I didn't score well is actually on the upper floor, and that's the laundry. If you look on the upper floor, the laundry is actually a room, but it's got closet doors and it's got a window and a lot of wasted space. And I think they could have done a better job. It's one of those sort of ambiguous. Are we in a closet? Are we in a room? Not quite sure what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is one where it functionally it seems to work. You're just questioning where it sits in plan, and
exactly,
with the window
and it's taking it's taking away the light on the front of the unit.
Yeah,
but I thought overall, actually, the organization and the layout of the spaces on this one was pretty.
Yeah,
good.
I have to say it has part of it's because it's 1 bedroom up and it's 2,200 square feet, but it has a kind of ease and grace about it that I think is quite nice. And some of the planning, particularly on this on that upper floor, I think is really quite nice.
The bathroom's quite elegant. I think it's quite.
It actually this guest bedroom on the main floor with the little tiny pocket courtyard reminds me of the Rock Row development in Los Angeles.
It's a nice idea, and it's a good way to site that bedroom. I think.
I agree.
Rather than trying to jam 2 of them on the upper floor.
That's right.
I agree
as we
with that.
found out as a problem in Toronto.
Yeah.
Going on to the second unit in G.
So this one I didn't quite like as much. I mean, I think that we still have the same issues with the entry. We've got the corridor entry. I didn't mind the living, dining, kitchen space. What I have an issue with is the upper floor. I think the upper floor in plan is a bit of a problem, and the reason is because we've got this small hallway. You come into the bedroom, which is fine unto itself, but then we've got, I think, a warren of rooms here.
Yeah.
We've got a side yard study. We have a laundry closet. That's the master closet. We have a study at the front, and then we've got a supersized bathroom with a lot of floor space.
Yes.
And I think it rambles, and I think they could have edited it down. I mean, it's 200 square feet bigger than the other unit, but you really don't notice that on the other floors.
No.
So you're not really getting much more for your additional 200 square feet, and it's more expensive.
Yeah, no,
So,
no, you're right. It's interesting, isn't it? Because it's got almost, well, it's very, very similar layout. Everything's
Yeah.
just inflated slightly.
Yeah.
And I just don't.
but they still haven't made any improvement on the main floor with the entry condition,
no.
and so I find that disappointing.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's true. So we've got so it got a score of between 12
and 14, depending
right?
on which unit.
Because
you
it still
pick.
had problems with the laundry. You didn't like the bathroom.
I didn't like the bathroom. I thought it was supersized. I didn't like the study just in the location with the laundry right there,
Yeah.
and I didn't like the entry as well. So
Right.
it scored a few less points. Now this is interesting because if we actually look at the units, the larger unit, there's only 2 of them that you can choose. So you can choose those 2. So that's the 2,400 square foot. So depending on the orientation, you have that option. Now with the smaller one, there's one here, there's one here, and then there's 2 here. So again, there's both orientations. And,
Right.
and I had a look at this, and I would actually choose the smaller unit, and I would choose this one because it's the furthest away from the road, which
Right.
is busy, and I think it's going to have an exceptional view of downtown. The one thing that when I looked at the plans I didn't particularly like is that the living space orients on all of the units to the back, and it's always facing away from the view, and the kitchen dining space is always oriented over the garage facing the view, and in the plans it looks like it has smaller windows. So I think that's kind of too bad, but I would
Right.
choose that one.
Yeah, although at the same time, those rooms are actually facing out onto this parking and driveway area, right? So
Yeah.
I think what they're doing is they're trying to put the living space on the back side
Yeah.
of that. And so it is this give and take. I would agree with you. I think that's probably the best unit, and I would certainly say that the smaller unit would be a better buy than the bigger one.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we think. As always, I hope you've been commenting and leaving your 2 bits, either agreeing or disagreeing with us, or whatever you think. Tomorrow, we're on to our design project.